Hello, curious? Hitler, as the leader of the Third Reich, left a shockingly cruel mark on the political map of the world. But today, we will not talk about the war or the destruction that he caused. Let's look at the women who were literally crazy about Adolf. And who were the ladies with whom Hitler had an affair? Was the dictator as ruthless in private relations as in public? Why were his relationships hidden? And what do we know about his preferences? Stay with us until the end and listen, but don't forget to subscribe to our channel first so that you don't miss any of our wow episodes. Adolf Hitler lived from 1889 to 1945, and he was born in Austria but moved to Germany, where he became a politician. And from January of 1933, he was the Chancellor of the Third Reich, and from August of 1934 until his death, the leader and the creator and the dictator of the Third Reich. He is considered responsible for crimes against humanity. So cruel and ruthless of a man, and how was he able to show feelings? Well, how did he behave in intimate relationships? Was he a gentleman, or was he a promiscuous pervert? It should be explained that, like a lot of information about the leader, his image towards women was either an act of propaganda or carefully hidden secret, and because it was claimed that mainly as a result of information disseminated by Goebbels that Hitler devoted himself entirely to activities for the benefit of the country, he has no head for relationship or time to start a family because his partner is the only reason, the Reich, and many of his followers fantasized about the Adolf theme, and the women fainted in his surroundings, becoming euphoric, allowed themselves to be deceived, and the saints believed that their idols in celibacy, completely devoted to the mission for the motherland. Moreover, Hitler was considered a gentleman because he always behaved appropriately around women, and he let them go ahead, kiss their hands in greetings, and he was able to adore. And this, along with the aura of the mystery surrounding his affairs at heart, it only fueled the adoration among the ladies even more. And even Eva Braun did not exist in the eyes of the public, and it was only after the war, after her long-term romance with Hitler, was it discovered. Born in 1912, Braun was discovered 17 years old when she met him in Munich as an assistant to a personal photographer, Adolf, and they started dating 2 years later, although at the beginning of their relationship, she tried to take her own life. And Hitler, who was then there during the election campaign, unable to afford such a scandal, especially after the tragedy related to his niece, which we'll talk about later, he kept the matter secret. But also kept watch of the woman beside him, and from 1936, Eva lived in his residence in Berghof, where she was also hiding during World War II, and the couple never appeared together in public. But Hitler did so. Apparently, she had a government plane at her disposal, which she flew to visit Germany or Italy and to do shopping in France. And with the fall of the Third Reich and the end of the war, Braun moved with Hitler to Berlin, where they both hid in a special bunker shelter located under the Reich Chancellery, and it was there that on April 29th of 1945 that they got married during a short civil ceremony, and nearly 48 hours later, they took their lives together by chewing on cyanide capsules. She was 33 at the time, and he was 56. But Eva Braun was not the first or only woman in Hitler's life. The leader biographers say that he preferred younger women rather than unintelligent women who could easily be raised and dominated, and one of his first alleged lovers was Maria Ryder. They met in the store where she worked. She was 16 at the time and Adolf was 37, but he invited her on a date anyways, and it was said that he proposed marriage to her, but since the first, he had to fulfill his great mission and duty to the country, he asked her to wait for him. However, he abandoned the girl, which led her to try to take her own life. Maria was rescued by her brother-in-law. Desperate, she gave up on her dreams of Hitler and married a hotel guy that she knew. And the marriage was not successful, as when Maria found out that Hitler was still interested in her, she went to Munich to visit him. And according to her account, there was a rapprochement between them there, and Adolf helped her with the divorce, but still did not want to get married. And when he came to power in 1934, he decided that he could only have her as a mistress. Maria refused, and 2 years later she married SS Hauptsturmführer George Kubisch. Although there's nowhere any confirmation of the physical relationship between Hitler and Ryder, his sister Paula confirmed that the politician was in love with her, and she admitted that Maria was the only woman who could restrain his destructive reflexes. As we mentioned earlier, around the time that Hitler met Ryder, one of his favorite was his niece, Galli Rabble, and the girl, together with her mother, who became the host of the politician, lived in Adolf's apartment in Munich and left this world in mysterious circumstances at the age of 23. She allegedly took her own life using her uncle's gun, and although it is not known what their relationship was, historians still argue that the role that she played in context of Hitler's behavior towards women. So maybe she knew or experienced his unusual preferences, and so maybe in Hitler's eyes, she had to be removed. Unity Mitford is also mentioned among Hitler's alleged women. Lord Redesdale's daughter, who made no secret of his admiration for Germany, came from an aristocratic family related to Winston Churchill, and she met Hitler when she became involved with the fascist movement in 1931. And for her devotion to the German-British agreement and her fascination with Nazism, she won the universal condemnation in England, but she attracted the attention of the leader, and rumors of their alleged romance emerged over time, but the information was never verified. And when Britain declared war on Germany, Unity tried to take her own life. However, she did not die. The bullet was stuck in her brain, and after 6 weeks in the hospital, she returned to her country. And she died in 1948 of acute meningitis caused by a sudden infection by the cartridge that was left in her brain. Hitler is also said to have had a close relationship with Magda Goebbels, wife of propaganda minister Joseph Goebbels, and some say that she was Adolf's ideal, rich, elegant supermother of 6, and others that she organized lavish parties for him as an opportunity to meet other women, and still others say that Magda Goebbels was to tell her friend that her son, Helmut, born in 1934, is a child of the chief, not her husband. But, the blood types matched, and no other confirmation of this was found. Winnifred Wagner, the daughter-in-law of the composer Richard Wagner, was also under Adolf's spell. They saw each other when she was widowed, and Hitler reportedly proposed to her several times, hoping to raise her prestige with such a union. And the woman was to agree when Adolf took her to the higher position, but when he became the chancellor, he did not need any more or anything that did not renew this proposal. So in a later interview, Winnifred Wagner described Hitler, and he made a great and deep impression on me right away, especially his eyes were extremely attractive, blue, large, and expressive eyes. Women across the country had a similar impression, and Hitler received thousands of letters asking him to visit them and have a child with them. Although the Americans and the Soviets were spreading rumors that he was impotent, deviant, and fetishist or had syphilis, many of these myths have been debunked by researchers. And one thing is certain, however, that Hitler had felt an aversion to homosexuals and ladies of easy morals, and he was afraid of not only sexually transmitted diseases, but above all that, he had his moral decline and contaminate him, prevent him from carrying out a great plan. And one biographer, Peter Longrich, claims that until the age of 35, Hitler had no intercourse with a woman. On the other hand, the personal doctor Hans Karls von Hasselbach recalled that the chief hated exposing himself to strangers, and that even as a medic, he had never seen him naked. However, he assured that Hitler was heterosexual and had regular intercourse with women, and that his libido was at an average level. And only Mach Christopher, in his book The Confessions of Hitler's Son, in which Aloise, the alleged child of the politician, outlines the image of Adolf as a fetishist addicted to adult films and obscene practices, which contradicts this. So curious, tell me, what do you think about this? Do you believe that Hitler could be a charming partner, or was he a rather man with strange preferences that were hidden from the public? And did you know that the propaganda created his image as a lover? And why do you think he had such an influence on women? Please let us know in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and click on the notifications. And we shall see you in the next episode with the Wow Effect. Until next time.